Hi everyone, we're back with video number 2 going over the course syllabus. So here I'm on page 4, we're looking at homework and late work. Alright, so homework, all the material for the course is up on Cobra under the content tab. Worksheets, things like that will be turned in under the Dropbox tab. Quizzes will be conducted under the quizzes tab, and discussion posts will be under the discussion tab. All of the assignments will be due before 11:59 on either Wednesday or Sunday. So check the weekly folder under the content tab for which day it's due. When I say 11:59, it means that the Dropboxes, the discussion boards, quizzes, they will close at 11:59. So don't wait until 11:59 to go do it because it's going to be closed. Okay? So make sure that if you get it done and submitted and turn in well before 11:59. And then make sure you attend our weekly Wednesday Zoom meetings from 6 to 6:50. As far as late work goes, normally I don't accept late work, but because we're in a pandemic and things are really hard for people, I have changed that policy. So right now, and here in yellow, you can see this is for the quiz, you can turn up to 6 late assignments this semester. But in order to do that, you have to contact me before it's due. So let's say this coming Sunday, you have an assignment due Sunday night. You're not going to be able to get it done. You know you can't, but you know you can get it turned in on Monday. So Saturday, send me an email. Say, hey, can I turn in this assignment late? Can I turn it in on Monday? And then wait for my reply, and I will let you know if that's okay or not. My biggest thing that I've learned as a teacher during this pandemic is that I have no problem working with you if you need to turn in stuff late. And I have had students who they've gone past their 6 late assignments and I've still accepted it. Why? Because they have communicated with me on a regular basis. Okay? So if you find that your work schedule is changing, you have to get a new job during the semester, if there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, make sure that you stay on top of your schoolwork. And if you know that there's assignments that you're not going to be able to make, that's fine. Send me an email. Say, hey, can I turn this in late? And I will keep track of how many late assignments you have. Okay? But if it looks like you're going to go over that 6 late assignments, come talk to me. Okay? If we keep running dialogue and if you keep turning in your assignments, even though they're late, but you turn them on time when we agree to, then I have no problem working with you. Okay? If there are any big emergencies that come up, if you get test positive for COVID and you need the time off, if you test positive for COVID at all, you have to contact us. We have to contact Parkland, and they will have to talk with you as well. But always know that you can contact Dean Marietta Turner's office if you need extended time off from class. Submitting homework on Cobra. In the other video where I went over how to use Cobra, I talked about this, but I'll do it briefly here too. Remember, Google Docs does not connect to Cobra. Okay, so if you're coming straight from high school, you might have been at a high school where that's all they used was Google Docs. So for this semester, if you have a laptop, you have a computer, Microsoft Word is your best bet to use. Okay, and if you don't have Microsoft Word, that's fine. If you go into your Parkland email account, up here where the little dots are at, you want to click on that. It'll send you to this page. Right here is the install Office link to it. Okay, and you can click here. You can get Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all of them. Okay, and they can download to your computer. If you have a Chromebook, it won't download to you because it's all Google. Okay. So when you submit things to the Dropbox, it can be in a Microsoft Word document or a PDF file. So if you have a printer, scanner, copier at home, you can turn it into a PDF and submit it that way. Or if you you don't have a computer, you're having issues with that, you can send me an email with like the worksheet answers. You can type those in there and send me an email. You can handwrite them out on a notebook piece of paper. You can take a picture and send me the picture through an email. Okay, so I've got a number of different ways listed here that you can submit your work. Okay, please know that always check your Parkland email account, because I have had in the past where someone submits something to the Dropbox and it looked like it went okay on their end, but on my end I couldn't open it. So I had to make sure that I emailed that student to say, hey, can you send it to me via email so I can get it? Okay, so always kind of double check your Parkland email account every day. If you don't understand an assignment, please come and ask. Um, we have assignments that are due weekly, but you have the entire week to work on them. So it's always important at the beginning of the week on Monday, go into Cobra, take a look at what is due, make sure you kind of understand it, bring any questions you have to that Wednesday Zoom meeting. But you've got a number of days there where you can ask me questions, okay? Try not to leave everything to the last minute Sunday night to do. How much time should you spend on this course? This is an approximation, right? This is not an exact science. Each of us is different. But they just want you to kind of understand this is kind of, with any online class, all of the work is going to really be done on your own time, okay? Yes, we have our weekly Zoom meetings. Those aren't going to be like lecture type classes. Those I want us to be talking about ideas, things, asking questions, that sort of thing. But understand that the readings and doing the homework assignments, you're going to have a lot of that to do on your own, okay? If your computer crashes, make sure that you are saving your homework in multiple places. So save it on the laptop, get yourself one of those flash drives, those little stick USB drives, save it on there, email it to yourself, send it to an email attachment to yourself, and then I will actually have a Dropbox where you can submit it to that Dropbox, and that Dropbox will be up all year, all semester, so that you can go re-download it if you need that assignment again, okay? Make sure that you're using correct software in your computers regarding Cobra and Internet Explorer. I don't even know if anybody uses Explorer anymore, but it's Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Chrome, Safari. The academic calendar is located below this document at the end. Make sure that you attend our Zoom meetings every Wednesday from 6 to 6:50. You will get participation points for this semester, and those participation points, you earn those during those Zoom meetings, okay? And so if you are late to a Zoom meeting, and I mean like 10 minutes late, then you will start losing participation points. But just because you show up to the Zoom meeting doesn't mean you get the points. When you participate, when you're asking questions, you're responding to things, that's your participation, not just showing up, okay? Sometimes I'll use student examples in class. If you don't want anything used as an example, I won't. It's just if I think we need extra help on something. Here's the grading scale. So the 0.5, that's when it goes to the next letter grade. So 89.5 to 100's an A, that sort of thing. Types of weekly assignments. You're going to have these shorter weekly assignments, so your participation points, your weekly check-ins. There's going to be four discussion posts, 5 think write assignments from the textbook, and then you'll have some worksheets and a couple of quizzes. Okay, you will have longer assignments to do for this course. On the academic calendar, they are all highlighted in yellow. So you'll have a scavenger hunt during week 2. You will have, before midterm, a student office hours visit assignment and a goals paper to do. You'll have a midterm self-assessment, so you won't have a midterm exam or a final exam. And then after midterm, there's an education plan paper, a career exploration paper, and then for finals week, you will turn in a final reflection project. Academic honesty is very important. As a student, it's important that you do your own work and you're honest in what you do. It's part of our core values. Plagiarism is when you are taking someone else's ideas and words and using them as your own and not giving credit to that person. Okay? So I've always told students, if you think you're going to plagiarize on a paper, I would rather you come to me on the day the paper is due and say, I am having a lot of problems with this, can you help me? Than plagiarize. Okay? I would really prefer you come and talk to me and get help. Okay? Do not plagiarize your work. When you turn in your papers, you'll be turning them into the Dropbox on Cobra. The Dropbox is connected to Turnitin that checks for plagiarism. Okay? So it will pop up if you've completely plagiarized your paper. Also, it will help you as the writer of your paper. So there was an incident where someone else found a person's paper saved on a computer at Parkland. They changed the name out and submitted it as their own. But because the original student who wrote the paper had already submitted it to the Dropbox and turned it in, it popped up for that second student who stole the paper as plagiarized. Okay, so it's not just help, making sure that you're being honest with your work that you turn in, but it's also making sure that down the road nobody steals your work too. And there is something called self-plagiarism, which I have actually had happen. A student tried to turn in an assignment from a previous class, a previous semester, and because everything gets turned into the Dropbox and turned it in, it popped up as it had already been turned in. So you can self-plagiarize, and that is still just as wrong. So if you plagiarize or cheat the first time, you will receive a 0 for the assignment. I tell Parkland. And then the second time you receive an F for the course, you're done, and I tell Parkland, okay? Now, when I tell Parkland, your name goes into a database. So the first time there's just a check mark next by your name. Second time there's a check mark next by your name. Admin won't come talk to you until there's a third incident, okay? But know that there's only 2 times for me in class. The rest of this is just contact information about if you have accessibility concerns, there's information for that. Video accommodations needed. All the videos that I will make have closed captioning for them. Counseling services, D120 CAS, that's a great place for help. The writing lab, this is actually going to be online this semester. If you go to the homepage on Cobra, on the right side, you'll see the link to it there. And you can pin it. This is what it looks like on Cobra. You can pin this with your other classes for this semester so that it's always there for you. Here's the information for all of that. Here is a video to show you how to use it on Cobra online. They also have a school supplies pantry that is available there. It's all free to you. You just go down to D120, go into the writing lab. You get pens, highlighters, post-its, binders, folders, paper, all that kind of good stuff. Technical assistance, if you're having problem with Cobra, your email, stuff like that, there's that information. Wesley Food Pantry, here is the link to their website along with information about what they do. It's a free resource for food, and they distribute on Wednesdays. Mandated reporters, so make sure you understand that your instructors if they see any abuse, they have to report it. Title IX, there's 2 Title IX, sexual harassment, violence, misconduct. If you are a witness or a victim of anything, please know that you can report it to Parkland and you can report anonymously. Here's the link for that. Pregnancy, if you find that you're pregnant this semester, congratulations. Please, your first contact is your teachers and then Dean Marietta Turner who can help you. The general college syllabus, that's up on Cobra. And then please leave the excuses at the door. If you didn't do your homework, just submit it and get it done. If you didn't understand something, ask for help. If you didn't study for the test, resolve to do better next time. If you choose to break my rules, you choose to accept the consequences. I'm here for one reason only, to teach and inspire you and help you grow. I'll do my part. The rest is up to you. And then the rest of this is your academic calendar. This is what the breakdown for what's due Wednesday, what's due Sunday. In green, I'll go over that week the major assignments that are coming up. In yellow is when those major assignments are due. And then we have some extra credit in pink or purple, whichever color you call that. All right. So that is all there for you to take a look at. This is a lot of information, like I said. But again, you don't have to memorize it all. Remember the yellow parts that I went over, those are what you'll need to know for the quiz. If you have questions, please email me or bring them to the Zoom meeting. I can't wait to meet you all on Wednesday, and I will talk to you later.